This is a game about a family in Washington State. As Edith, you'll explore the colossal Finch house, searching for stories as she explores her family history and tries to figure out why she's the last one in her family left alive. Each story you find lets you experience the life of a new family member on the day of their death, with stories ranging from the distant past to the present day. The gameplay and tone of the stories are as varied as the Finches themselves. The only constants are that each is played from a first-person perspective and that each story ends with that family member's death. Quite morbid. Ultimately, it's a game about what it feels like to be humbled and astonished by the vast and unknowable world around us. Created by Giant Sparrow, the team behind the first-person painting game, The Unfinished Swan. I am Flinti, and this is What Remains of Edith Finch. We are on our way to what? To an island? From an island? I have my backpack, some flowers, and a journal. How do I open it?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
The house. Alright. Let's actually have a look at that menu again, because it gives us a picture of the Finches. Edith on top. She is 18 years old, maybe 17. A teenage girl. If we go down the ladder, she probably has a brother, Milton and Louis. They all have died, as you can see, which is interesting to say the least. There is Sanjay somewhere in between. And then if we go lower, we have Dawn, Gus and Gregory. Kay in between. On the next branch, we do have Molly, Barbara, Kelvin, Sam and Walter. I guess these are her grandparents. And all the way down we have Edie, who has become quite old, and Odin. And also the names of Sven and Ingeborg. Now if they are all humans or maybe some pets are involved, I'm not sure. But I guess we will see it through every eyes. See how they met their end. I'm playing this on PC. I think it's also released on PlayStation 4, but I cannot be sure. Anyway.
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
No, you clearly weren't. It's locked, so we can't go this way. It is supposed to be like a walking simulator, as you might call this genre. Made popular by, I think still, the first game that did it right was Dear Esther. After that came Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and I guess The Unfinished Swan was a walking simulator as well. I don't mind really if it's all about the narrative, as long as it is a good story.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
Oh, so Milton is her brother, was his brother. If you have information about Milton, call the Arcus Island Police Department. Age of disappearance 11, so he's presumed dead, according to her diary, I guess. Yeah, never to be found, huh? Alright. Let's start walking. Alright, just messing around with the controls a little bit. We can zoom in a little bit.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
In that house over there? Interesting looking house, that's for sure. So this is supposed to be the Washington state. I'm not very familiar with Washington. I think cities like, I could be very wrong here, I'm not an American. Seattle is in Washington, right? But again, I cannot be sure. I guess the same region as Twin Peaks, Alan Wake, very foresty and cold. Alright, I'm playing this with controller as opposed to mouse and keyboard.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Final notices. It's not like we can read them. So you can close them back up, Edith. It resembles the house, doesn't it? There's also a newspaper, but we cannot interact with that.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
So, they are two brothers of hers, and they both died? I guess we aren't supposed to be here. Trespassers will be prosecuted. By whom, I wonder?
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Is there some kind of inventory management system in this game? I guess it's very minimalistic, so no, we don't have that. There isn't such a thing as a sprint button.
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
It's not a running simulator, so... Words. Hanging in the sky, the Finches. Do we go left? Do we go right? I'm leaning more towards the left because the home is there, but it also seems to be a little bit high up. I guess we'll go down first. Maybe two paths lead to the same place? If that's the case, I definitely want to explore the other path as well. Fear of missing out. Okay. There are hidden walls. It's not like you can freely explore this forest. But then again, there is some freedom because we can find something here. Can we like pick it up? Okay. There's just all a bunch of missing papers of her brother Milton. This way?
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
We're getting close to the house now. Let's try and deviate a little bit more to learn about the boundaries of the game. I guess, yeah, if the ground is kind of even, we can walk on it. But if there's like a difference in height, we can't.
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something but never do.
That sounds very peaceful silent, actually, Edith. But to each their own feelings. I guess this is supposed to be a very poetic game, so... A game that makes you think. I hope at least. Some tools. Funny thing is, with a game like this, you have the tendency to actually explore and expect things to be picked up, or things that we can pick up. I guess that's a habit after playing Zelda Breath of the Wild a little too much. Okay, we're here. And I'm not sure if the other path leads down here as well. It might be. Could be that that is the path.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
So nothing's changed. It's certainly a very extravagant house. Layers built upon layers. And just a decent carport to the left. Plenty of space for cars to be parked. Before we go to that house, let me just quickly explore the other path. Like I said. You know, it might trigger another one of her speeches. Oh, that's a deer. My dear.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
I don't know if you can see it, but I just got an achievement called All Roads. So I guess I'm rewarded for taking both. Which is a good thing. I like that. It doesn't feel like it's all for nothing. It is quite a way, I know that, and we have to walk it back. But I guess this is where the split is, right? Alright. I'm just going to walk back. If situations occur in the rest of the game somewhere, I might just skip ahead to not, annoy you with waiting. And again, I don't think there is a sprint button. Although she's kind of fast walking, isn't she? I may have yet to find a game where just walking is fun. I remember playing Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls back in the day, and the default in that game was walking. So you had to actually press a button to attain this speed. This was right about the speed of that game, by walking. Anyway, so now we're coming to the house. There's a giant fish creature, snake or whatever in the lake. All kinds of flyers of Milton lying around. Is that supposed to be... I don't know what it is supposed to be, so I'm not going to say it. Anything we can pick up? No. So we just move on. Again, apparently two ways we can go. Let's investigate.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
The carport. I can see that, why the house is making you uncomfortable. It looks like I don't know, it looks kind of haunted, but also very playful in a way.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
So you are definitely 17. You know, this part of the house actually looks quite modern as opposed to the rest of the house. That's a nice looking carport door. Might have been installed in a later period. Okay, there's a side entrance. And is that a little hatch for the cats? I like cats. I've got 2 of them myself. Although, before we enter that house from this side, let's actually see what's up here.
I heard something moving around in the garage.
I did hear it too. It's like you're talking in the past or something. Past sentence. Like it happened already and you're kind of retelling the story. Okay, this is kind of a porch in a way. I do like the layers. I mean, you can plant all kinds of stuff on here and just chill and relax over here. Okay, this is the main entrance. We can use the key on that main entrance. I guess we should have checked if we... I should have checked if we could use the key on the other door. But I'm inclined to take the side entrance. Because, you know, side entrances are always the way to go, right? I like that the thing is actually like playing a melody. Audio is very important in this game.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
It's actually a doggy door, yeah. I thought it was kind of big for a cat already. But she fits that. I wouldn't fit that, but then again, I'm not 17 anymore. Should we flip the switch to make it even brighter?
The power had been turned off the night we left.
I like the engravings on this thing. Convenient placings of bikes. What are those things supposed to be? A tennis ball hanging from the ceiling. Interesting. Okay, the door seems to be open.
For the first time in years,
who is Dawn? Oh, he's in there. I guess Dawn is her father. Her mother, actually. And who the hell is Gregory? I guess we'll find out. So Edie, Milton and Lewis we know about. They were about the same... No, that's not true. I was going to say the same age, but Lewis is a lot older than Milton and Edith. There's quite a large difference between them. And again, that's not really true, is it? Because Lewis and Milton differentiate 4 years. Edith comes 7 years later. Then who is Edie? Edie is like the old grandmother. Grandmother. And she was quite old. So is it January 2010? That's the day they left. That's 7 years ago.
I felt like I was home.
The kitchen, presumably. It's a very classic looking house, almost like very cozy, very Hobbit-like.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Oh yeah, Edie is like the matriarch of the family, the old woman. Dawn might be her, of course, her mother, and then that would be Edie's granddaughter. And Lewis, who actually looks a bit like Milton. Oh my, in loving memory of Louis Finch, son of Dawn, great grandson to Edie. Yeah. Wow, what a sad family. What a sad story. All kinds of books and dishes lying in the kitchen. And I'm actually going to wrap it up for this first episode. I'm going to keep them like 20 minutes. And I hope you enjoyed the first one. I can't wait to explore further. So join me in this quest to find out what happened to the Finches. Stay tuned and thanks for watching.